Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam as it is, and we are in introduction section, and we are almost come to the end of this introduction. The chapter, and especially last week we discussed about an interesting topic. The topic is talking about we as a humans traveling to another planetary systems. In fact, if we look at our lifestyle, we always migrate from one place to another place, isn't it? Especially look at the migration, the way we are going. Earlier, we are limited to villages. At the max, we can go to towns, nearby towns, and it is hardly goes to the major cities. Very rare to go to major cities. I never traveled even once until I finished my engineering to Hyderabad. That is that time is the capital of Andhra Pradesh, and I never visited even a single time until I finished my engineering. So when I to take my public exam or this what you call public limited companies, that is the first time I visited Hyderabad. When I first visited Hyderabad, it is like for me, I completely came to a new world, because until then I was studied in a village kind of environment. Everyone knows everyone. We never seen hustling and bustling of these vehicles or anything, nothing at all. It is very peaceful town and very calm, and I never exposed to such a busy life. Busy life. So now see, we spread throughout the world, isn't it? That means we always look for to go somewhere else. Always look for. Even today, all our scientists are trying to go to the other planetary systems. Why? Why? Why they wants to go to other planetary systems? What is our idea of migration? Why do we migrate? Any comments from anyone? Why do we migrate?
in uh, in search of the resources or development. So like birds migrate because their habitat is conducive on the other side. So same way, when we are looking for more resources, more development, so we go to some other place.
Absolutely correct. Prabhuji really said right words. Better prospects, right? Better, always better. What is better from here? What is better from here? See this? Sometimes it is not that we lack of food, we lack of something, we migrated. So when Prabhuji mentioned about birds and all, majority of the birds, animals, they migrate because their vegetation, their food supply is short, lack in that particular place. That is why they are migrating. Any bird, any animal you see, they don't just migrate like that. They migrate whenever the food in that area is completely exhausted. They don't migrate just for the sake of fun. Oh, let me fly 100 miles. Let me fly 200 miles. No, they know exactly which side they go, they get more food. They migrate it. What about us? So the very beginning, that is our idea. 100 years back or 50 years back or something, our idea is better perspective. Our idea, survival. Our idea is survival. Okay, I cannot survive in this village. Let me go back somewhere else where I can survive. That is the idea. Now what happened? Survival is never the question now. I can survive anywhere. We are now smart enough to survive anywhere. It doesn't matter. Now I have to make more. I have to make more. I have to live better. I have to live better. Is it good? Is it bad? We say it is good. Otherwise, how do we come to know America and how the people, how the culture, how do we get progress? So this is all good. That is the explanation we give it. That is the explanation we give it. Now today, look at it. The Indians are everywhere. Very recently, I never took seriously, other than America, to understand the what you call the geography of our world at all. Very recently, 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back, my brother went to Zambia. So first I couldn't understand where this Zambia is. When my brother said, I got a job in Zambia, I was surprised. Where is this Zambia? Where are you going? He said South Africa. So is it even good to go? So he said, everything is good. Lot of folks are going and I have better prospects, and the pay scale is so good, and which I can never imagine in India to get, and all that. And I was surprised. At the middle age, my brother is leaving two of his kids behind and wife behind, and so he's going to Zambia now. Now he is in Zambia. Now, so when I asked and when I talked to him a week back, he said this environment is more just like India. So many people, just like a village side kind of. He's working in a power factory or power plant, let's say power plant. He's a maintenance head or head of the department, whatever you call it as. So yeah, so he went there as a kind of. So now look at it. He said the entire their area is full of it's like one whole Indian village has come and stayed there. They have everything there. I was surprised, like it's basically, so we went everywhere. Now what are we doing? We are trying to go to interplanetary systems. That is what was discussed last week. Interplanetary systems. How do we go to interplanetary systems? There are three ways to go. One, mechanical, by discovering rockets or satellites, whatever it is, and we go. But the question is, if they are nearby planets, we can go. But if they are far away planets, can we go? Our lifespan is maximum 100 years. So if the planet is more than 100 years of our lifespan, then we don't go. We die. We die. That is why we always try planetary systems that are within our reach. Within our reach. That is why we never got to know, we never exposed to this transcendental sky, which the Lord explained very heavily. What did he say? Na bhasyate surya, na shashanko, na pavakaha. There is no sun, there is no moon, there is no stars. There is nothing you need to. Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Once you come to me, you never come back. What it mean? Whatever the facilities you are looking, everything is available there. Everything is available there. Unlimited. But on our world, everything is limited. There, it is unlimited. So the Lord is explaining about the transcendental world for us. Now, today we will read something, chapter 15. Especially this chapter is titled as Purushottama Yoga. Purushottama Yoga. This is titled after Lord. Purushottama means the Lord. After. So why this chapter is so, and especially this chapter is coming into Jnana portion of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is divided into three categories. Karma, Karma Yoga, Bhakti, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana, Jnana Yoga. So Bhakti comes in the middle, 7 to 12. 1 to 6 is Karma Yoga, and 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga, and 13 to 18 is Jnana Yoga. Especially 15 is Jnana Yoga, but it is very, very important and relevant. Why we stuck in this material world, the Lord explained very, very nicely in a simple way. So let us read today couple of verses from that chapter has been given here, Prabhupada, and he is talking about it. So who would like to read today? Any new person? Whoever is not read in the recent times. Not the people who read last week, but anyone new? If not,
I will read, Prabhuji.
yes, Krishna Prabhu. This is where you read.
In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the real picture of the material world is given. It is said here, Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakham Asvattam Prahur Avyayam Chandamsi Yashya Parnani Yamtam Vedasa Vedavit. Here the material world is described as a tree whose roots are upwards and branches are below. We have experience of a tree whose roots are upward. If one stands on the bank of a river or any reservoir of water, he can see that the trees reflected in the water are upside down. The branches go back downward, and the
Prabhuji, are you there? Am I on the call?
I think Prabhuji is talking, Prabhu, but it's not
It
visible.
says he's talking, but he cannot.
Krishna Prabhu, we can't hear you, Prabhu.
roots upward. Similarly, this material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. In the shadow of substantiality, substance, and reason, but the thing, there is no water, there is no happiness, but the real water of actual happiness is there in the spiritual world. The Lord suggests that we attain the spiritual world in the following manner. Bhagavad Gita 15.5. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha Adhyatma nitya vivarta kamaha dvandvair vimuktaha sukha dukkha samjanair gachantamudyaha padam avyam tat. That padam avyam, or eternal kingdom, can be reached by one who is nirmana moha. What does this mean? We are after designations. Someone wants to become sir, someone wants to become lord, someone wants to become the president or a rich man or a king or something else. As long as we are attached to these designations, we are attached to the body, because designations belong to the body, but we are not these bodies. And realizing this is the first stage in the spiritual realization. We are associated with the three modes of material nature, but we must become detached through devotional service to the Lord. If we are not attached to devotional service to the Lord, then we cannot become detached from the modes of material nature. Designations and attachments are due to our lust and desire, our wanting to lord it over the material nature. As long as we do not give up this prosperity of lording it over material nature, there is no possibility of returning to the kingdom of the Supreme. The Sanatana Dharma, That external kingdom, which is never destroyed, can be approached by one who is not bewildered by the attractions of false material enjoyments, who is situated in the service of the Supreme Lord. One so situated can easily approach that supreme abode.
Yeah, you can stop it here, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this is the first verse. 15:1. This is the first verse. Urdvamula mata shakam ashwattam prahuravyam chandam seyasya parnani yastam veda savedavet. This is the very first verse of 15th chapter. What Krishna wants to tell here? He is explaining about our world and how our world is situated. In our world, material world, where do we find the roots? Upside or downside?
Downside.
Downside. But here he said, Urdhva Moolam. Moolam means roots, Urdhva means top. So this one, the Lord explaining, the roots are there on the top. What does it mean by the roots are there on the top? So for a tree, the root is everything. If we cut off the root, the tree is finishes. Tree won't grow. It won't flourish. The root is everything. So the root for our existence is from the Lord. Where the Lord is sitting? The Lord is sitting in the transcendental world. So our existence came from the Lord who is sitting on the top. So Urdhvamulam, the root which is the Krishna, who is Krishna, where he is in transcendental world. Now what happened? The tree is upside down. Now the roots are there on the top. Now what is there on the bottom? The bottom we have branches, leaves, everything. So what did he said? If we wanted to go and see Krishna, we have to climb this tree. We have to climb this tree and go to the transcendental world. How do we climb it? Normally, the trees we climb is, they are upside down. Upside down. We have a bark down. We go, climb to it, slowly go to the branches and to the top of the branch. That is how we go. Now, how do we go this one? So here, this tree, this leaves, branches, what are they actually? So the leaves and branches are nothing but the Vedas. Nothing but the Vedas. So, Chandamsi, Chandamsi. So, these are nothing but the Vedas, Chandas. So, by knowing this Vedas, we can go to Krishna. By knowing this Vedic knowledge, the Shastras, we can go to Krishna. That means without them, there is no way we know Krishna, because Krishna doesn't belongs to this world, isn't it? For example, we are all living in this world. If someone says Spain is like this, Russia is like this, Canada is like this, we can relate. We're all living on the earth. We're all having the same temperatures here and there, but we know the variations. For example, we are living in India, the temperatures are probably 43, 45, max is like under 50 degree centigrade, under 50 degree. But the same thing, when it comes to the other end of it, there are some cold countries that goes to minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. When someone says like that, we interpret it, we understand. Oh, okay, this is how it is. This is ice cold, this cold, that cold. Why? Because at least we know, we can compare, we can understand anything on this material world. But how do we know when we never seen it? Anyone seen it? anyone seen it? No, we have to refer to the Shastras. The Shastras were given by the Lord Himself. So the Lord is a person who came from that world and described how that world looks like and how to reach that world. That is Shastra. That is Shastra. So if we study the Shastra, we can go back. That is what Krishna is explaining. So we must study the Shastras. Swadhyaya Abhyasanam. Swadhyaya Abhyasanam. By studying, we get to it. Or take Guru's shelter. Take a Guru's shelter. Tatvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te gnanam gnaninas tattva darshanaha. This jnana is who have seen the Lord, they can explain out this tattva. That is what it is. This is about this Urdhomoola Mata Shakam. This is the tree that we are supposed to. That means what exactly this tree? If you ever stand on the banks of a river or a flowing water or a still water where the trees are there on the bank, have you ever seen that? The tree that is right on the bank of a river or a lake or something, then you look at that tree in there. What do you see in the water? A big tall tree right on the bank of a water part. What do you see in the water? What do you see in the water? Nobody experienced it?
Yeah, an upside down reflection.
Yeah, you see the top of the tree. The tree that is standing right on the bank of a river or something, what do you see? You see the top of the tree in the water, not the bottom of the tree in the water. That is the nature of it. So we are living in a world, this is upside down. That means the truth which we are thinking is not the truth. It is completely upside down. So we are living in an illusionary world. That is why it is called illusionary energy. Illusionary energy. Why this word called illusionary energy is used? Because the world we are living is not completely permanent. It is a short-term living. Short-term living. Everything what we consider is right is not right. It has duality. There is not even a single thing in this world without a duality. That is why, how do we get rid of this thing? So here it said, Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sangnayam gachyantya moda padam avyayam tat. See, very simple, nice words. Mana, mana pranalu, this and that. We use this word called mana. Avamana. See this mana? What is mana? Based on this, what is that mana means? Manavamanayo. Many times we use this word. Lot of times we use. Even Sishastaka has this one too. Amanina manadena. What is mana means?
Respect.
Respect. That is correct. Respect. I demand respect. I demand respect, isn't it? Every one of us demand respect. If anyone comes and he doesn't respect us, we won't tolerate at all. We won't tolerate at all. Why? Because I have a designation. I am somebody, isn't it? I am somebody. What do you mean by? I am an architect. I came here. I'm living well. I have a name. I made a name for myself. So that means I have a position to maintain. With this position and everything, what do? I demand respect from the people. This especially we can experience it in offices, especially younger generation joins and challenges the senior people. Have anyone experienced this one? A fresh college out or someone or 1 year old join in a company and challenged a senior person who is been there for 10 years. Anyone experienced it?
Yes, Prabhuji, all the time.
How do you feel?
Frustrated sometimes because
No. How do you feel? Internally, how do you feel?
frustrated
Yeah.
sometimes like because
Frustrated, angry, rage. It's not an easy thing to tolerate. I experienced it. It's not easy to tolerate. My early days before Krishna conscious early days, it is very hard. Even in fact, for anyone to take a chance with me is not an easy thing. Because I will make sure he will bow down to me. I never leave him just like that. I never. That is kind of frustration. That's kind of, it's like a revenge drama. But I realized it off late that is useless, pointless. Useless, pointless. Waste of time. Waste of time. What if he is a fresh guy, he has his view. So what? You should never demand respect. We are demanding respect. I am somebody, give me the respect. We are demanding it. We don't need to demand respect at all. That is why he is asking nirmana. Nirmana. That means without respect. Don't expect respect. Don't expect respect. Then look at our life, how simple it is. What is the best example? Not expecting respect and living the way they live. Who is the person we observe it, especially from India? In America, it is we can observe it in the very small portion of it. Who are the people who see on, without any self-respect or anything? Who are these people?
Parents do.
Parents? But parents sometimes, serious, furious, they scold, especially me, I'm not an easy person to live with. I don't tolerate my children at all.
Prabhuji, villagers mostly like like
Even villagers sometimes kind of, but one person especially we see it. Who are those people? These kind of people, they don't have any self-respect at all. And no matter what we do or something, they bend their head and they keep going, keep going. We
The
do.
sadhus.
Uh, sadhus is correct, but we don't scold sadhus, right? We don't unnecessarily say anything to sadhus because sadhus may curse back or sadhus are respected, and we don't do anything or we don't go on the wrong foot with the sadhus who are the same. Think of
beggars.
that is correct. Beggars, beggars, beggars. We don't respect because they are beggars living on the street, begging on our mercy. Mercy, as Prabhuji said right now, is kind of, see, their attitude, see their attitude. Their attitude always is bend, 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 bend. Whether you give a quarter, whether you give $1, he never going to say that, oh, you only give a quarter, give me something more. He is not going to argue. Those, they don't have any nirmana. Because why? He is nobody. He is nobody. Even I don't look at him twice in the street. Say, suppose at the traffic light, I stopped my car. I looked at him. He's begging. I just looked only once. That's all. I look only once. I didn't even try to look the second time too. Because he is nobody. What about us? Have you ever felt any time that people are watching you? We use this word called stage fear. Have you heard about stage fear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is a stage fear actually?
The same thing, like if we are performing something, people are watching, maybe we are doing wrong.
That is correct. That means
Somebody
we
gonna
have
comment.
yes, we have a consciousness inside thinking that I am somebody, lot of people are judging me. Lot of people are judging me. See, this is where we are living. So this is why we have to give up this thing. We have to give up our designation. I am architect, I am DBA, I am so and so, I am a rich person, I am a beautiful person, I am a highly educated person, I am a most successful person. These are all designations. And these designations pertaining to a body. This name, Srinivas, this name, Navina Radha Mataji, this name is basically to this body. And this body is demanding it. That we should give up. Adhyatma. See, we always say Adhyatma, Adhyatma. What is Adhyatma? That means we live on physical space, isn't it? We live on physical space. Our house has a physical space. Myself has a physical space. We do everything physically, physical space. But what about Adhyatma? That means we live in the mind. Yesterday I attended a lecture in our company. It is called Mixed Reality. It is called Mixed Reality. That means a combination of virtual reality and a combination of there is something called augmented reality. Okay, these are the two realities. So this is the new technology. Huh? This is the future. What I'm not talking about is some bookish something. No, this is the technology that is going to come. It is called mixed R or XAR, or in a simple terms called XR. XR. This is what they call XAR. It's XR. It's a now the world is gearing up to go to this level. It's called XR. What is this world? You know the lady who gave the lecture. She is from Stanford. She is a neuroscientist, and she has lot of degrees to back it up. We are listening to that lecture. Every single one is convinced. She, plotted our brains that virtual reality, these tools and everything, explore, increase our enjoyment, facilities, explore everything. But at the end, I have only one question. You know what that question I have? No matter how you think, no matter how you feel and everything, at the end of the day, it is still within your mind, isn't it? It is still within your mind. That means our happiness, everything, our pain, everything is in our mind. So the virtual reality is totally based on making our mind, brain happy. For that, we don't need that. All we need is a nice Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will do that. Or here, Dvandvair, Dvandva. So the world where we are living is dual. Every single thing here we have two, isn't it? Dark, light, white, black, on, off, male, female, right, left, up, down. Every single thing has two. There is not even a one-sided thing in anything in the world. Lot of times this is the statement I wanted to everyone, really think about it. Free. Free. There is no such thing called free. Free comes with a price. Free comes with a price. Freedom comes with a price. Isn't it? It is an example we have seen. We got freedom. India got freedom. America got freedom. But is the freedom came free? That freedom came, so many people are sacrificed for it. It is never free. So if anyone says that I am giving this for free, don't believe it. Because free is not designed in our system at all. Free is not designed in our system at all. There is no such thing called free. If you are on the apparently on the top, on the surface, you see something free, that means something you are not seeing is charging you. That is why some companies, share markets, all these things, they say that there are no hidden costs. There are no hidden costs. This is absolutely free. Isn't it? This statement they use, this is absolutely free. My question is, why do you run a business with your money and helping me for free? Why do you start a company spending your money to help others if you don't receive anything in back? Every charity organization, every single thing, 100% receive something in return. In return. That is the nature of it. Even ISKCON, everything, the organization which we put, physically receive something back. But what we are doing, the effect of that one is absolutely free. You are chanting. The effect of chanting, you become good. You become more mature. You become more understanding. There is no downside to that. There is no downside to that. You are already always understanding. You are progressing. There is no downfall there because you are already there down. Now you are going up. We are we are fallen down. The only option we have is get up. We are already fallen down. The only option is get up. That is what here it is. Avyayam. Vyayam means expenditure. Vyayam means expenditure. Avyayam, no expenditure. That means it never completes. It never finishes. It never finishes. Expandable. This world is expandable. That means anytime it can vanish. This is expandable. Our bodies are expandable. We are expandables. But the Lord's world is not expandable. That is why Padam Avyayam, the Lord's abode, the Lord's Dhamma, the Lord's everything is forever, eternal. How do we get it? So, by giving up our Sarva Upadi. Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam Tat Paratmayana Nirmalam. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. This is Bhakti. This is Rupa Goswami is telling in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Isn't it? A beautiful, beautiful verse. This is what it is. So Bhagavad Gita is talking about it, especially that one. So I think it is already 8:22. I will stop it here. I think this next two verses will go together. Let me see what is the object. Man, it's not even. Yeah, anyone would like to read this one paragraph here? One last paragraph. Anyone?
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Elsewhere in the Gita 8.21, it is stated, Avyaktoksharatya yuktas tam ahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tad dharma paramam mama. Tadhama paramam mama. Avyakta means unmanifested. Not even all of the material world is manifested before us. Our senses are so imperfect that we cannot even see all of the stars within this material universe. In the Vedic literature, we can receive much information about all the planets, and we can believe it or not. We can believe it or not believe it. All of the important planets are described in the Vedic literatures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. And the spiritual world, which is beyond this material sky, is described as avyakta, unmanifested. One should desire and hanker after that supreme kingdom, for when one attains that kingdom, he does not have to return to this material world.
Thank you, Mataji. So here
Thank
is
you.
here is the conclusion to the earlier one. So here especially he is talking about avyakta. Here earlier we said avyayam, right? Avyakta. So there is a world which is above this world, that is transcendental world. So sorry, transcendental world. But what the Lord is telling about is, even in the material world, we can't see everything that is in this material world. What to speak of spiritual world? So the point is, our lifespan is 100 years. In 100 years, how much travel we can make? Can we travel each and every nook and corner of this world and see everything that is being given? Impossible. We can't even cover on the earth surface for 100 years. What to speak of going into the sky and looking into these planetary systems? So practically it is impossible for us to really understand everything by direct perception, by experience, by experimenting. That is not possible at all. That is not possible at all. Even in this material world itself, there are places that are so divine. Once you go there, you feel like you won't come back. You won't come back. I felt it one time like that when I'm watching a DVD from Mayapur. Mayapur. I think this is one of the DVD when they are explaining about Gurukula or something. I don't know where they shot this one. They shot it, and one person is standing on a tall cliff. Cliff. He is standing on a tall cliff, holding his palms to the into the sky, and he is just saying "Om" or something like that. And the breeze. I can even see. I can also feel the breeze too from the screen. How? The grass on the side, it's kind of slowly moving it. I was so much immersed and absorbed into it. I felt like, wow, if we can be there in that place, I think we don't need anything else. We can simply live the life there. So there are some places like that on the earth itself which can feels like living in other planets systems. That means God has given. Why God has given these things? Just to experience a glimpse of what what this transcendental world gives. A glimpse of everything that is there in the transcendental world. Lord is making us to experience it. Little bit. A pure thing. So this is what we are all needs to strive. If we experience a little bit, then think of it, if we experience the same 24/7 all the time, it ever increasing. Unfortunately, we don't have much time today to talk about this, a little bit more in depth. How do you feel it? Some of these our acharyas felt it, described it. It is so wonderful. It is so wonderful. That is why at least sometimes We should imagine. Sometimes imagination is also good. What do you call, imitating a good thing is a good. So this kind of imagination is good. It will help us. So that is what it is for today. I will stop it here and let us see if we have